Hello, it is Oatmeal here, and I want to start off by sincerely saying thank you. Not only to the new subs that are here, welcome, but also to Jagex. I've been on this climb for about a year, and I gotta say, this is one of the first times that Legacy really feels viable and usable. I went ahead and, since I food list, I went ahead to next and tried to food list there. It wasn't the best thing I'd ever done by any means because one, you can't attack the minions with mage, and two, she just decides to pray mage randomly all the time, so you're gonna have to deal with that whether you like it or not. So the staff wasn't very effective to use here, plus when she does her damage reduction it's just better to use dual wields overall, but the point is it's possible. I can food list this, and I was impressed. It just feels like, it feels like I have a lot of friends at PVM that do a lot of foodless stuff, and they bring a bunch of different switches. They got their 4-tick auto attack and a bunch of other stuff set up, and I feel like I have that level of option to me now. I mean, I know they do too, but it's like I bring a couple of room pouches, and I now have the grasping room pouches where you can bring 4 in each pouch. And it feels like, well, if I have teammates, I can just shield them. If I have, a need to teleport, I can literally just create a little crystal and teleport away, so there's some cheese with that. Or I can debuff the boss to make sure that this, that, or the other doesn't become a problem. And, I don't know, it just opens the doors to a lot of really, really cool stuff. And I'm excited. I'm excited that Legacy feels like it finally has a spot, because it's always been not bad. Like, I've gotten Vindicta kills down to sub 1 minute pretty consistently. But it always felt much slower than it needed to be. And that's kind of how it should be. You don't try as hard, you don't bother to learn the abilities, well, get a slower rate, but how much slower, And there are just ways that Crib Bloom makes this game mode shine. And yeah, so next I decided to hit up Telos, and that was a wash. I'm pretty confident you won't have any problems here, but yes, this was a foodless Telos kill. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if Zato's finished his 1000% yet, but he's a legacy PVMer. He does have some videos uploaded on YouTube. So the point is, I know that it's pretty possible. I found out a way to cheese the stuns as well. Well, he did anyway. You use a pitch can with logs so that you can take out, I guess, a tick that it takes to light a fire, so that you don't have any issues with dodging the stun. So I'm going to be experimenting with that and probably Telos pushing in the recent months, because if I can get to 1,000, well, that's not bad. And that's what I mean by this, is thank you, JX, for, and I know this might have been happenstance, but making the game finally feel playable in Legacy. With my knowledge, there's only one boss that we can't kill on our own, and that would be Solak. Because of Phase 4, somebody has to switch to EOC to stun Telos, and because of not Telos, sorry, Solak, and the way that you have to stun him is different. Like a black hole with Ambassador, you've probably seen me stun that with Sammy Spear. Is a different kind of stun apparently. It's coded differently, so there's no way around that. We just had to do that. Yeah, it's kind of cool to know. And after Telos, I had a sub come up to me, and by the way, you guys can do this 100%. If any sub has done this before, they could tell you in the comment section. You just PM me. My messages are always on, and you're like, hey, can Legacy do this? Now, it depends on how long of a day I've had at work, but most of the time, I'm going to drop anything that I'm doing, which is usually ice Telos pushing, and be like, alright, bet. It's like, you say we can't, we're going to do it. And so we ended up going to hard mode Carapac after this and having an absolute blast. That's what I mean. It's like Legacy feels like I can go anywhere now. I can do anything, and for the most part, I can relax like this. Once they invited me and we got down to stepping under him here, boom, skip that mechanic if you can. course, somebody's going to mess up, but it's better to have one of those little nodes than three. And after that, we just melt the thing. And they were talking about, like, oh, can Legacy tank? And I'm like, watch this. And it's practically foodless. I mean, sometimes on P4 we're a little slow or somebody dies, and we have to pick up another clone. It's a little stressful, but I don't think I died a single time here. I think I died maybe once. And I'm just having the time of my life PVMing with this, really. Because it's not that it's that OP. And it's like, if you want to Ice Telos push, I challenge you to try 500% in Legacy. Miss one prayer, you're getting hit in the face, Miss one Ice Beam in the perfect way that you need to do it with Legacy, and you're going to have problems. So it's not foolproof by any means, and it's not just you can go in there and do whatever you want. And I think that's the thing people are getting from Crypt Bloom with Legacy. There still is some skill required, so it's not just jump in, go crazy, or whatever. But what I really enjoyed is during this kill, we actually got a drop, and you can see the clone gets dealt with pretty quick on Legacy. I'm not too far behind my friends, maybe a hit. And then hold on. Your boy calls it here. I need it on record. Your boy called it. And it just feels so good. I haven't felt this good about a drop since I did, like, early game God Wars. Or when I was so broke and all I knew was PvP and Green Dragons, and then whenever I died and lost all my money PvPing, I went back to Green Dragons. And one day I decided to hit up Barrows when I unlocked Ancient Magics. I was like, I can finally freeze Darox now, because I would always let my prayer run out. So instead of just drinking prayer potions, like I'm not a normie, I would just like, oh, I'm going to go way out of my way to unlock ancient spells to fix this problem. But it did. It fixed the problem. And within 2 runs, I got an Aram's Robe Top for 11 mil. And that was the most money I had ever seen at the time. That's what it felt like, Because I've been PVMing for a while, but with really slow kill times before, it was harder. Like arch-glacor now, I'm doing 400% in 3.5 minutes with Maniacal. That's what Legacy can do now. Before, these were 6 or 7 minutes when I was using the blades, because I would lose so much DPS running around. But that's the thing. It's amazing now. It's all of a sudden viable. And I gotta say, I couldn't be happier with the state of the game, so thank you, Jagex. I don't know if it was intended or not, but it feels like you ushered me into a new era of gameplay, and it just feels so boundless. And in the same hour, to end it up, we got another staff piece. I appreciate you watching and seeing my Foon Sped drops. And in total, the staff piece is sold for 1.73 bill split for each of us. Hell yeah.